You got that down.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell the group here we're live, so we have some people there. Let me put in the and let me pin it. Everybody's notified. Okay. All right. Hey guys. This is our third session, I think. Yeah, third session, and we're gonna really try hard to do this consistently on every Friday at noon, just to give everyone market perspective and where we are, and we're gonna bring in some other training sessions too, especially that as it pertains to credit spreads and some of the ways that we're trading and doing doing the work here. So today was a good day. We did a call spread and a put spread. So ended up being an iron condor, and the market stayed right in the right range for just the right amount of time for us to get a good 50% profit on the iron condor. And so right after we got out of that trade, man, that market just shot up. So anyway, I'm gonna turn this over to Steve. He's got a lot of information about market levels and patterns and where we're headed. And so with that, I'll just turn it over to you, Steve.
Thank you, sir. All right, there's been a lot going on here the last couple of days, and I would love to just go over this a little bit. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, hear you good.
I just want to be sure. All right. We were up here at these high levels looking fantastic, and then it looks like the world falls apart, and we'll go a little bit farther out with that. But I just want to go over the last 2 days. These patterns and what we're looking for is support, resistance, different things like that. If you notice, we're here, we had it down, and it just kept going down, 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 and down. Looked like the world was going to end. Got a little bounce, came over here, and then here's where everybody really started panicking. But these things are all within the ranges of patterns. And I'll try and show this a little bit here and give an idea of what we're doing today, because we've been calling these things. On this particular day here, we had a call, and I put it out in there that we were going to go down here to the 74 area. I traded it down to 75, and then I put my order in at 74.25 or 74.50, something like that, and got a nice little move out of it. Why and how do we do that? Here, first off, whenever you're looking at anything, you've got to figure out, what is my swing? Now, this is a 5-minute chart. Here's the high. Here's the low. But on this day, this was the low, but we didn't know that for a while. So how do we figure that out? Well, we look at the different patterns. One thing, if you learn the ABCD pattern, is just simply an extension. You're going to see a lot of things, a lot of activities take place. All right, we go up into here. And notice this 127. The 127 is the area that I look for between 127, 127, 141, and in this area here. Here's why I could pick on that area down here. That low was 74, I think it was. Okay, so this is where it was saying it was going to go to, right in this area. So that's why we picked that one. The real nice one was this one here yesterday. Let me remove this. And this one's a little more effort to figure out what it was, but we've got to look at different time frames. We've got to look at different periods. Let me just put the daily up first. Okay, you can see this. Okay, let me show you. These are patterns that have been put up and traded off before. This is a large crab, extended crab up here, and notice the short. This one up here was a butterfly pattern up into here. We haven't got it yet, but it's still moving and it's still in play. We're in between this area. So let's see what we've got going here. I'm still expecting this to get up and take out this high.
And Steve, it's still in play because of these,
yes,
of the support levels that are still holding, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry to do it. These areas, these pivots, you've got to look at where we trade at, where we pivot. So right now, on a daily, from this high to this low, we're within this range. That's all it amounts to until it takes out this high or it takes out this low, we're trading within here. That's all it amounts to. This particular pattern going up to ABCD did not fulfill. When it came down and broke the support, we knew we're going down. How do we know we're going down? Let me put this on a little bit on a 60-minute time frame. I think that was it. It's kind of hard when you're doing these things because you're working on things really, really quick, trying to help give information. Okay.
Yeah, and when Steve does this, it's not predictions. I mean, it's basically probabilities based on the patterns. And so he'll provide, certain levels in the market, and they're pretty specific levels. And yesterday, I mean, nobody knew that this news event was going to come out. The ISM non-manufacturing was going to be weak, but it's just where the market starts and stops within those news events that's just amazing to see. And anyway, I'll let Steve talk about the specific levels that we reached yesterday, which was amazing.
Okay, so we're working on yesterday. We're going through here. We get this unbelievable move that we're going to go down. This is at the open. We're up above, and it's just like it falls off the center of the earth. And when it came down through this level here, then I knew we're going down lower. Where do we go for it? All right, there's several things we're looking at. Let me just go through a couple, but then I want to show you something. If you learn, it will help you a lot. We have two pivot areas. Here's our bottom of our swing. We go up to this area here. Oh, sorry. And we're always looking for at least the 618 or 707 or the 786. So we went through the 618, but we bounced. So let me put this one. Let me edit this property here. Oh, that didn't work. Hang on a second. Okay, so here we got, can you still hear me, Al? Am I on?
No, I can. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, I muted my mic because a plane was flying overhead here.
Okay. You're okay. We've got just moved an internet and I'm still playing with it. Okay, so I'm looking at this area here, the 707, but here's what we've got. I'm going to remove these other lines and show you this because it is important to understand these things. Everybody talks about Fibonacci's, but Fibonacci is not a magic tool. It gives you areas and targets and probabilities. So this is the first thing I'm looking for. Is this going to be something that's going to hold? Then I look at these pivots. It hit this pivot, went up a little bit, but then rolled back over. So I'm going across here looking at where's my support? Where's my pivots at? Right in here. Where's my next ones? Over in this area over here. So this is, when I call this, I said we're going to probably get down to about 55, 56. And it's because of this pivot right here. Let me open this up. I'm looking at where is a very logical place that this is going to want to get some support at. So right in this area here is a blanket of support, but here's my two pivots that I'm looking at, these two right here. So I went ahead, and what I do when I see that, I find these pivot areas and I put in my little lines like that. And notice how it hit this perfectly. Boom, and then we turned around. That's why I called that spot. I said it should get right in that 56 area, 56.50, somewhere in there, and go up. All right, after that occurred and we went up, we're looking for a couple of things to take place. Almost anytime you have a bounce, the magic number is 382. So let's look at this. The retrace back up, and then if it does it, you're looking at to go back down. It's funny, yesterday Al and I were typing at the same time, and he got this out a second or two before I did. So anyway, here it bounced up to 382. We see this movement. It's still within the range. It comes down. And when it turned and went back up through there, that's when everybody got excited. We knew that we're going to be going back up. I'm sorry, this was yesterday. We knew that we had something that we were really doing. So we above that, we moved up. This is today, but we got above this, and we turned out to be a really, really nice day.
Yeah, typically what happens is if we're going to continue going down, it usually gets up to the 23.6 area, and then it just kind of stalls there and hangs around, and then it just hits another low, you know.
Yeah.
But yesterday we just screamed right through that area there and got right up to the 382 pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was just it's a number that if let me remove this thing. If it gets there, it's going. So what do we do? Yesterday we closed here right at the highs. You always expect a little pullback, but we expect this to really be nice and really work well. So let me put this back on a 5-minute time period. And then I want to show you what else we're looking at and how we're looking at these things. We're looking at moving back up, and this morning the call was that we were going to get up to 40. We got almost there. We're 39 something, 38.50. Anyway, we still may get it when we're done. But how do we determine that? Why do we do it? This moved up. We close here. You expect it to come down a little bit. And then last night, I was trading this last night at 12 and 1 o'clock my time. Okay, what happened? We got up here, and when it got here, this was a breakout. Boom. It went up through, came down. I can't remember what I traded at. It was like 11 or 12. What was it at down here? Yeah, 11 or 12. It went up to 18. Where's the 18 at? It's the 18. No, I'm sorry, the 18 here. Hit the 18, went up into it, installed. I went to bed. Woke up this morning. We're down into these areas a little bit. I'm sorry, we're down. Where's today? This is today. Yes, okay. So we break this last night. Oh, break this one this morning. Come back up through it, and then we head up. How do we figure we're going to do that? All right, our drawings again, our tools that we're going to look at is our extension tools, our extension levels. So we're going from this one to here. Whoa, way over there. This one to here. And then we can also go this one to here. Got a little sharp move in there. So we expect to get into this area here, which we had a little stall
And
right
Steve,
here.
this
Yes, go ahead.
This extension is an ABCD pattern, basically.
Yes, it is. Here's
Okay.
an A,
Right.
B, C, and up here is D. I even posted last night pictures on the website showing these patterns, showing where we have with it and so forth. Now, what do we do?
Yeah,
We're
and
looking
just
Go
a
ahead.
little more. A cannot be lower than C, right?
Correct.
And B cannot be, what is it, higher than, let me see, A, B, C. It cannot be, yeah, B has to be higher than C.
Yes, correct. And when
got
we
it.
break the B, and I'm going to show that in just a minute. Let me get into a smaller time frame here where I can show this a little clearer on a smaller time frame.
Yeah, because anybody can do this. Anybody can do this with these tools, basically.
Oh yeah, this is everybody talks about Fibonacci, but there's a lot more to it than just putting it up there and saying, okay, it's supposed to go here and there. It's relative to price action. It's relative to other patterns. All these things together make a world of difference. All right, excuse me. It takes a second for this to settle down. I'm never sure why. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got this low here. We've got this low over here. And when we come back up through this, I showed this last week, this is going to be a long. Last night I traded it. This morning I traded it. We had several people trading it. Here's our first move up with this. And we get into this area. So here's my big move, but our high, we had 34 we get up into. We're going there. And I'm looking at this move here, the 127 and this line. This is where my 40 comes in at. I thoroughly expect to see that today. Whether we will or not is another story. If we get below these areas, we may not. If we go below 34, we may not. But we're at 37 right now, we may. So let's look at this. Why is that number important? Now I got to go a 5-minute again. I'm sorry to be jumping around so much, but I really want you to see these things. And I don't necessarily expect you to understand it all right at this moment, but I want you to see why we look at it. Here's one of our levels right here. Notice this support. Now we go back, see if we can find where this started at. Yeah, I'm going to have to, I don't know if I can get at this in a 5-minute. Let's forget that one. I don't want to give you too much information and confusion. The main point is I had this at a 40 earlier where it broke down, is above, here it breaks down through it. This is where I expect it to get back up to in this area between the ABCDs, and this is where it broke down. I also expect to see it, not today, but I expect to see it get back up to this 59.60 area because this is where it broke down. Every time you have something like this, it is a retest almost always. So let's look at our Fibonacci numbers going back up and see what we can possibly project to. Here's where we fell apart. We come down to this low. Whoop. The 618 is something you expect all the time. Notice how 618 just happens to hit here. I didn't set this up. I didn't look at this as far as, okay, let's make this move. It's all of what you look for. You look for numerous things. The Fibonacci gives you projections and targets, but you got to have the price action. You got to have support and resistance. All these things give you to what you're looking for. So now we tend to go up to the 786. I expect to get somewhere in this vicinity and have a pretty serious stall if we're still going down. If we go to here and we break above, we get above here, then we've got a lot more we're going up. But we're in a market. Let's go back to the daily again. And then I'm going to go to okay, so here's what I'm looking for. We moved up into this area through here. This was our sell area through here. We sold off, we went down. Here's our support. This is a very nice target 3 of this area. So that's another reason we expect it to go up. I have posted on our website, on Al's website, this very thing right here. We have this up to here. We have it down to here. And I put up that my projection is this area right here and then down. That's what I'm seeing happen unless we take out this area here. If we take out this area here and we get above, we got a shot above this, which is very possible. But this is what I'm actually looking for. I'm expecting this to get up into this area, not necessarily today, but it could, but I'm not looking at that.
Is that the 50 area, Steve? The 2950 area?
Yeah, 2950, 56, 59 area.
Okay.
Right there. And it's the 618 retrace back up of this move, and it's a retest of it, or the 786, I'm sorry.
And it's basically where we broke down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's how we see that.
Level going up and down, I think.
Yeah. We have this as our C level, or ABCD up. It didn't fulfill. This is usually very strong support. Hit it, hit it, hit it, came down, but closed above. Mm-hmm. Got close, but when this one broke down, boom, that was where we broke at. And we moved this down. Now we've got a really nice move up. What's our Fibonacci going back up? There's a lot more to this. I do numerous ones, but this one will give you a really close look. This to down to here. Right here is that 618 area we just showed a while ago. That's why this area should have a tremendous resistance. If we're in a down market, if this area up in here is the top, that 3029 or 3029, yeah, if that's the top, then we get up in here, the 786, 618, I'm sorry, is usually where we turn at. And we break this, we're going to go down to complete a large ABCD down, which is going to get us somewhere down into these areas here. So that's what we look at. Now, do you understand this? Maybe some of you do. Maybe it's confusing. I'm not trying to confuse anybody. I'm not trying to go real fast and make a mess out of something. I'm trying to show you what Al offers in his room and why this is so important to stay connected. We go through this on a large level and then a micro level, very small level each day. Let's go back into here. If you can look at on the today, we had a mark on it. I'm going to show you what we were looking at. Okay, as we go up and we go down, we were making marks. We were doing everything. We came up into these areas here. All right, we got up into this 34. I called we should get down to about 21 to 23 area. We got down here to 21. All right, then we expected to go back up. What do we do? All right, I'm calling out. We've got to get above 24.50 first. And I'm going to show you exactly what we did and why. And then I'm going to turn it back over to Al because I don't want to confuse you. After we hit here, my point was 24.50. It's close enough with it. Why did we say 24.50? It's a pivot right here that we broke down through. We went up through it. We came down. We go back up through it. We have a good shot of it going. It did come back down a little more, but it closed above. The next one, the big one, was 26.75, which is right here. That's actually 26.75, but I'll mark it. And if you look at this and you want to go back through and look at the room, this is what we're calling out. And I'm saying we're going to take out the 34 high here, and we're going to take out the, I've been saying we're going to do that ever since it started going down because of the movement we have. If this is a movement up and down, we have up here and we come back a little retrace, but don't take this one out, which we did not, then we have the next run up that we're going with. All right, so we get above this 26.75, then the call is we're going to get above 34. That's being called all the time if we get above 31.50. Now, why the 31.50? Let's look at the pivots where we're at. We take this high here. We take it to this low here. We take it back up to this high here. This is how I got 21 to 23. I'm looking at these areas right here for movement back down. This is an ABC pattern, AB equals CD pattern down, right into here. And I said we would get 21 to 23. Notice that one's right 21, and this one is 22 something, so it should be right in those areas to get down here. The 100 you expected to get, that's the 23 or 24, but you expected to go below that. This is perfection right here. Once we get up, so there's not, I'm not just willy-nilly calling things out. It's very, very specific of what we're looking at. Now, why this one? Because it's the C leg. A, B, C, D. This is the B leg. We're going back up through it. But the C leg here is what we had to get above, and this is 31.50. Oh, sorry. Wrong movement. Okay, and Al can tell you that. That's what we're calling all the time. I'm sure I wear people out like, okay, 31.50, 31.50, we got to break up. It hit it several times here. You just have to live with it. It's going to be a major resistance. As long as it doesn't go back down and take out this low right there, we're going to go back up. Now, what are we looking at now? Let's see where we're going. We can project from this low to this high, down to this low, and we get up into our, oh, that was really a nice move, our 162. That's a very nice extension. We got right here our 786 we expect to move. Yeah, we've got, we're going sideways here, and it's not going to take, it's going up. Well, I'm not going to say it's going up. It's got a very good shot of going up to take this out as long as it holds above 34. If we break below 34, this is probably going to go down a little bit more. But it can also go below 34 just a little bit and then back up. But this sideways pattern here, as long as we stay above 34, which is this pivot high here, we got a chance of getting up at least to this 40. And that's a really nice move. Okay, so that's what we look at. I know I go fast. I know I've covered a lot of material. I don't expect you to remember a whole lot of this. I want you to understand this is what Al provides for you in his room. Is not just myself, but him and a couple other people we have, Jonathan, Shahid, all very good traders, and we look at things like this. My thing I love is patterns, and I love harmonics and pivot points. Every single thing is a pivot point, and you got to figure out which is the next one that's going to be taken out.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, the way that I play off of this is that, I keep those levels in mind. And so when I choose the credit spreads that I'm going to put on, this morning we knew that we had an uptrend and we were moving, and I scrambled to get that put credit spread on as quick as possible. But then as far as the call credit spread, knowing that we'd stall here around 40, looking at that and where the potential breach could be, I positioned the call credit spread at 50, just to give it some room in case we we broke above 40 or hit 40 in that level. And you don't want to be in that spread when you're at 4, when you have a position at 50, a spread at 50 and the market going through 40. You want to get out before then. But we were fortunate this morning that we had a little bump and volatility went down, and bam, we were able to get out right before the breakout occurred there. So it's not just me soloing this thing. There's a huge edge of being able to work together with different pockets of knowledge that everybody has, and putting all that together to make things work and get consistency out of your trading. So that's what we do, and we're going to continue doing it. And obviously, our goal is to always continue to increase our performance and reduce our risk. Let's see.
One more. I got one or two more points, and then if we have a question, whatever, because this is coming up shortly.
Yeah, Nevin says, the recording we'll have. Yeah, this is recorded in the Facebook session, Nevin, and also. I create a YouTube video on this as well, and I'll share the link with the group.
So this morning, what we expected, we had this nice move up. Like I said, I was trading it last night, and I traded pre-market a little bit, and then I got out. Okay, we were looking for which way do we go when we open. That's always a really, really important thing if we can do it. Right before the open, the pre-market that I had was let me look at it, 291.21. That was a print we had, which is, I'm going to show you this. This is very, very, very important because this is what the big boys trade off of. Here's 291.21. All right, that's 22, but it's right there. All right, so look at what we happened. We've got this high, we've got this, hit it again, we hit it again, we're here basing sideways. There is no doubt that we're popping up this morning because 291.21 was the target, or the opening print. That means big boys are buying early. What is it we're looking for now? All right, this is a minute thing right now. This is really, really important. Notice this up here. This says 293.06. On October 2nd, we had 293, where did my number go just a second? 293.19 that we sold off. Let me see if I can get back to that. Do I have enough days here? I want to show you this because this is very important of what we're looking at right now. All right, let's see what day is. Is this the second? No, this is the second here. We had prints on this day of big selling prints at 293.19. We had them pre-market. So here's 293.19, right? I got 20, but it's close enough. 293.19. This action overnight in the middle of the night is when somebody sold big time. We open up, we're below that print. There's no question we're going down because we're below these huge prints. Those prints were 503,000 each, and there was about 10 or 12 of them. And that was big, big prints. It could have occurred over here as well, somewhere in this area, but this is what we had to wake up to. Now, let's see what this is over here. What do we notice right here? The 293, let me change it to 19 just so everybody knows that we got exactly. This is where we're headed to right now. What's going to happen there? We don't know until we see it. But this was another reason why I was saying we're going to get up into here. We've got a great movement. We got an ABCD pattern up into this. We can stall here a little bit. We can stop here a little bit. But let's look at our bigger movement and see if we can get a good idea of where we might be going. We're going to take this low. All right. That's a pretty nice move right in there that we're going to get up into, and probably this here. So this is a very nice point. But if we get above this 19, and it's going to probably stall there. If we get above that, whether it's today or the next day or Monday or whatever, we're going to be going up. If it holds, then we go back down. That's all it amounts to. Those were big, big prints. Now, one more point, and then I'm going to stop. I know I keep saying it, but I just feel I need to share with you as much as I can. What we had, I got to get this right time frame. Let me get back on a daily. On the 19th of September, I think it was that it? Let's see, September, I think it was September 19th, which is, okay, right here. September 19th, we had massive, massive, massive selling. 20 million shares. Let me get the right number. 301.09. Okay, so this is why it's important also to keep up with what are the big boys selling. So 301.09 right there. There was 20 million shares, over $3 billion of shares in SPY sold right there. What do we open up to the next day? This is what we open up to, the high of 367. With this movement, there was no question we were going down. With that big of a move, and we were also having prints on Diamond and Qs and IWM, there was massive, massive selling here, right up at the highs. Isn't that interesting? Do you think that the market's manipulated? There is not a doubt about it that people move this market. Now we're down here. We have some prints we're working at, and we're working off of, look at those numbers, 293.19. That's an area that if it gets there, watch it closely. If we get above it, we're going up more. What does that mean? It just means we have an opportunity of getting above these levels, these pivots, and going up some more. If it holds, which so far it has today, we may be at our top for the day. We don't know. We've got a few hours left, a couple, 3 hours left. So we certainly could. But if we don't go below 34 on the ES, that's what you watch for. All right, Al, I'm done.
Thanks, Steve. I think we're good here. And unless somebody wants us to look at stock or ETF that they want us to analyze, we're pretty much done here. And if there is any other questions, anything you want us to look at? All right. I think that concludes the session, and we'll be back next week at noon on Friday. And thanks for your time, and we'll have the recording out soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Have a great weekend.